Hello everyone, welcome to day 4th of July LeetCode Challenge, and today's question is count vowel permutations. In this question we are given an integer n, and our task is to count how many strings of length n can be formed using the given rules. And the rules are as follows. Each character is a lowercase vowel character in that string. Each vowel A may be followed by an E. Each E may be followed by A or I. I may not be followed by another I. O may be followed by I or U. U may be followed by A. And we need to return that count value. If that count value turns out to be too large, we need to perform modulus operation with 10 raised to power 9 plus 7. I hope you understood the question. Without much ado, let's look at the presentation that I have created for this, and let's get started. Count vowels permutation, LeetCode 1220. The question is a hard question on LeetCode, but we have done plenty of questions in the past, and I would not rate it in the hard category. I would rate it in the medium category, given the kind of concept that I'm going to explain for this question. Let's try and understand the question. The question says we need to generate characters of length n, and there are few rules that I have restated over here in a simplified form. If A is the current character, next character should be E. If E is the current character, then the next character should be A or E I. If I is the current character, then the next character should not be I. What does it mean? It should be either A or O or E or U. Either of these four. It should not be an I character. If it's an O character, the next character should be I or U. If it's a U character, then the next character should be A. I hope you understood these rules. I have inverted the rule for this. Not of I means either the next character should be A, O, E, U. Either of these four. And the algorithm technique that we will use to solve this question is backtracking technique. In July LeetCode Challenge, we did plenty of questions around backtracking technique. This is again the same technique that we are going to use. If you don't know the basics of backtracking, I'm attaching the link to the video where I explained the backtracking as a core concept. Please refer to that video once and then come back to the solution and think from your perspective whether you can use that concept to solve this question or not. In order to reduce the time complexity further, we will introduce memoization, and memoization will help us in decreasing the total time of the solution. And also, since we are using backtracking plus memoization, a DP solution can also be built to finally conclude on the algorithm. But let's keep it simple. Let's do it till memoization part. So without much ado, let's look at the coding part, and there I'll explain what exactly I have done. So I'll explain the map part later on, but let's try to understand the core logic. I defined a char set that states all the possible characters that could be there in the output string, and I start generating the count starting with each of these characters. So the first character I took is A, then I took the first character as E using this for loop, then I, then O, then U, and I passed in a helper. I passed in the count of the remaining characters that the string should have. Since we have consumed one character, the remaining length of the string should be n minus 1. So we need to fill in n minus 1 more characters into our output string. And I pass in the reference of the current character that I have used. So every time this for loop is executed, A will be passed, then E will be passed, then I will be passed, then O will be passed, then U will be passed. And let's try and look at this helper method, which forms the core part of the algorithm. If my remaining character count turns out to be equal to 0, then I simply abort the process, because I have found out one possible string that is my answer, one possible kind of a string. And otherwise, let's forget these two statements for a second. I will check what is my previous character. If my previous character happens to be an A, I will invoke the helper method and use the next character as E, as my rule stated. The remaining count of characters gets reduced by 1. In case my previous character was E, then as per the rule, the next following character should be either A or I, and therefore I will add the two of the possibilities: helper remaining -1 comma E plus helper remaining -1 comma I. In case my previous character happens to be an I will have to check all the possibilities for A, E, O, and U as per the rule. And in case my previous character was O, I have to use either I or U. In case my previous character was U, I have to use A as the next character. And once I have this total value, I will simply return that. Now comes the question, why do we need a map? We need map to introduce memoization into our algorithm, and memoization will help us reduce recomputation of the same values again and again. So what we have done is to define a map of string long value that will hold that for this particular combination, this is the answer that we have already calculated in the past, and we have initialized it to a new hash map. The key for the map would be the remaining character count plus the previous character. So if you have calculated any particular permutation of the remaining character plus the previous character, then it should be reused. And the first thing that you're going to do is to check whether you have computed that value in the past or not. If you have computed that value, simply return it from here itself without recomputing it in the lower part of the section. And in case you have not computed it, you will update it in the map. Pretty straightforward. I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for viewing it. Have a great day ahead.